I'm going to show you start to finish how to make this really basic skirt. It's just got an elasticated waist so you can slip it on, no zips, no fastenings at all. It's just got a seam on either side and a very basic hem and a little channel here for the elastic at the top. So I'll show you how to measure the fabric and cut it out. You don't need a pattern. I use a template literally so I can explain how to do it, but you can just work out the measurements and cut 2 rectangles of fabric out of your fabric, and that's all you need to make this. And then other than the fabric, you just need a piece of elastic and some sewing thread. So if you're new to my channel, I'm Ali and I've been pattern cutting and dressmaking since the early 90s, and I work with ladies of all different shapes and sizes. If you've not already seen my videos, I make a lot of clothes from blocks, but this is such a lovely simple skirt. You don't need a block for it at all. You just need to know how long you want it and how full you want it. That's literally it. So you don't want to be using a heavy fabric for this. This is a viscose and it gathers onto this waist really nicely. A lightweight cotton or a synthetic, as long as it's lightweight, would work really well. I wouldn't use anything too heavy because once it gathers onto this elastic, it's not going to feel great. So just make sure it's a nice lightweight fabric, and all you need is a really basic sewing machine. I do French seams on the side, which are really easy. I'll show you how to do those, but it means you don't need an overlocker. You don't need to do any fancy stitches. It's all just a basic straight stitch. So I've got other similar easy projects that you can do if you're a complete beginner. I've put links to those in the description below if you want to take a look at those. There are some trousers with an elasticated waist like this, a dress. There's a few things that you can make without using a block. Before I get started, I just want to thank everyone who has been watching my videos and commenting, and I've had some absolutely lovely comments lately, and of course everyone who's bought me a coffee. It doesn't go unnoticed and everything is very gratefully received. And more than anything, the lovely comments just always really make my day when I read them. It's amazing. So I don't want to talk any longer. Let's just get straight on with it. And what I'm going to do is I'll show you my template and I'll explain what the measurements are before I start sewing this up. As I said, you don't need to make the template. You can literally just measure it on your fabric and cut it. But I thought this would be the best way to explain. So I'm going to try not to rustle this paper because I know it will be annoying, but this is my template. So this is half of it. And this down here is the centre front and centre back. So basically my pattern goes here. So the total width of my skirt, just measured across, I've just halved that amount to make the width of this. And then I've just added a seam allowance on the side. I've done 1.5 centimetres, which is pretty standard. And that's a good size for doing a French seam. And then at the top, all I've done is done a little bit here for my elastic. This just turns back on itself and then it folds over once more to put the elastic in. So my elastic measures 2 centimetres and this channel here I've done is 2.5, and it just gives it a bit of space for gathering it up. And then there's a centimetre at the top that turns back, so that extra on the bit where the elastic goes, it just gives it room for just sewing that as well, a couple of millimetres from the edge. When you see me sew it up, you'll see exactly what I mean. So basically in total at the top I have added 3.5 centimetres, and then on the bottom I've just added 1 centimetre for a very, very basic turn back double fold hem. So basically your length from the very top here to your hem, you just need to add on the amount for your elastic and then 1 centimetre top and bottom for your hem and the turn back at the top. And then the width, this is just half of it with the seam allowance at the side. So if you're cutting on the fold, that's what you need. If you just want to measure the whole thing, you just need the total width you want your skirt plus enough for a seam on either side. So here is a diagram of what I've just said so you can see it nice and clearly. So just pause it here if you want to copy this down for making your skirt. Okay, so that's it. Let's just get straight on now with making the skirt from these nice, simple 2 rectangles of fabric and a bit of elastic. So this is the skirt off, just so you can see what's what. So just really quickly. So it's got a nice, neat double fold hem. It's got a French seam either side, and then it's just got this elastic sewn into a channel on the top. Lovely and simple. So I have already cut my pieces ready. I'm sure you don't want to watch me cut it out, particularly as there was a bit of a twist in this fabric and it was a bit of a pain to fold. So basically 2 identical pieces which are double the size of my pattern. So let's put that away. We don't need that anymore. And I am just going to get straight on with sewing this up. So if you've got a directional pattern, obviously make sure everything's going in the right direction. So it doesn't matter which way up you have this at the moment, you just need to make sure they're both the same way. So I want the right sides on the outside, so wrong sides together. So I'm just gonna put both of these, making sure they are both the same way up. I can see from these little flowers that they are. I've got my wrong sides together, and all I'm gonna do is just pin down the side seam on both sides, ready to sew these up. And if you've not seen a French seam done before, you will see in a second just how easy it is, and it means you'll get a perfect finish if you don't have an overlocker or anything like that. So that's both of my side seams now pinned from top to bottom, both sides. Let's go and get those French seams sewn up. So all I'm doing is I'm lining it up here with the 1 centimetre mark here. I've got 1.5 total, but I'm sewing 1 centimetre at the moment, and I'm literally just sewing down both sides 1 centimetre from the edge. And now that's done, all I need to do is just trim this. Hopefully if I hold it up nice and close, it'll focus and you can see. I'm just trimming it really small next to where that seam is. I'm going to use the other 1/2 centimetre of my seam allowance in a minute to encase this raw edge. So just trim it close enough that it's going to be, you want it about 1/4 centimetre, a couple of millimetres. But just don't trim it so close that it's going to fray when you iron it in a second. And now with the wrong side on the top, I'm just pressing this. I don't even need any steam. This fabric is ironing so nicely, but if you need some steam, obviously use that. And just press that flat. So it doesn't matter which side you press it to, it's so tiny, and it's just going to help the next part of the process of sewing the French seam. And now that that's done, I can finish off the French seam. So I've basically got the right side on the inside. And where I've pressed that, I just need to fold it on that line there. So you can pin it first if you want to, but it's not really necessary. And now all I'm doing is I'm just lining up that folded edge, which is basically the previous stitch line, with the 1/2 centimetre mark here. And I just need to sew down the length. And because I trimmed the first bit nice and small, it's all going to be inside this bit here. So it's a 2-step process, takes a little bit longer, but means you can get a perfect finish if you don't have an overlocker. And it means however many times you wash and wear this, your seam is still going to look perfect. So I won't bore you with me sewing slowly down both sides because you want to take your time. So let's just get these sewn up. And then what you want to do is iron it to one side. I always tend to do this from the right side. You might prefer to do it from the other side, but just the way I like to do it. So I'm just pushing my seam towards that direction, and I am just going to get that all in place, and then I can give that a good press, and that's my French seam finished. So you just want both of them going in the same direction. I always press mine to the back. So this is now going to be my back panel. So the other seam I need to just press towards the back as well. So what you should have now is a nice, neat, basically the whole skirt shape, a big kind of tube like this. So I've got my French seam either side, and I need to just do my hem at the bottom and my elastic channel for the top. So both have got a 1 centimetre seam allowance. So at the bottom, I'm going to be folding it twice. So if I let's zoom in, I'm just going to turn it 1/2 centimetre and half again to sew that hem. And at the top, what I'm going to be doing is folding it 1 centimetre, and then I'm going to fold it 2.5 centimetres for my elastic channel. So let's do the hem first, which is the easy bit. And there are various ways of doing this hem. I mean, to be honest, you can do whatever kind of hem you want, but mine's just going to be a double fold, 1/2 centimetre and then another 1/2 centimetre. So I've got 1 in total. So you can either just go ahead and sew it straight away, you can press it first, you can do whatever you want, but I'm just going to really simply just fold it and fold it again and just stitch my hem the whole way round. So I'm going to really take my time getting this nice and neat, and all I'm doing is, as I said, just folding this 1/2 centimetre and just folding it half again. I'm just doing it by eye. It's close enough for what I'm doing. If you've got a border print or something like that, you might want to be measuring it, but I'm just going to take my time, folding it twice and just sewing all the way around, and I'll give this a really good press. So that's the hem done, nice and neat, really simple, just a double fold. And because this fabric presses so well, it looks lovely and neat. And all I need to do now is just finish off my top edge. So the first thing I'm going to do with this is I'm going to just press this, the 1 centimetre seam allowance down like this, and then I just need to make my little channel for the elastic. But first thing I'm going to do, as I said, is just press this 1 centimetre the whole of the top of my skirt. So I've now pressed this down 1 centimetre, and that's basically the bit that's going to be folded in just to give that a lovely neat finish. And now all I need to do is measure 2.5 centimetres, and I'm just folding that down, and I'm going to pin it this time just because I want to get this nice and accurate. So I'm just going to go the whole way around the top, just pinning this the distance that I need to. That's now pinned all the way around, and now what I need to do is I need to just stitch it close to this edge. So I'll sew it from the inside, and then what I want to do, because I'm going to have to put my elastic in a second, I just need to leave a small opening to do it. So I'm going to leave my opening on the back. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sew from here all the way round, and then I'm going to stop here. So I've just left this little opening here to put the elastic in. I think I've got a different angle on this every time I've come back to my machine. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to just sew from this pin here, and I'm literally just going to do it right on the edge. So I'll hold that in place, and I'm lining this edge up with this side of the little opening bit on my foot. And then all I need to do is just sew all the way around. I'm just catching it literally like the very edge by a couple of millimeters, and I'm going to sew until I get to this pin here, which leaves me enough space to put my elastic in. So if I just sew up here a little bit, then I can show you. Hopefully it's focusing on the right bit, and you can see here it's sewn literally just a couple of millimeters from the edge. So I just need to go all the way around. Again, I'm not going to bore you making you watch me do it. And this is what you should have, a nice, neat and even channel the whole way along. So I just need to find my opening, must have been on the other seam, and then I can start, where's it gone? I can start now putting my elastic in. So here's my elastic. As I said, it's 2 centimetres deep. You can use whatever size you want, just obviously make your channel the right size. And I've just done 0.5 centimetre spare because you need to allow a bit of space for the stitch line, obviously. And when it bunches up, you just need a little bit more spare as well. So I've not even measured the length of this. I've just literally put it around my waist and then cut quite a bit of excess, because the longer it is, the easier it is to get in here. So that's what I've got, and I'm just going to start threading it through with a safety pin. It's all you need. So get a safety pin that's nice and big so you can actually feel it through the channel. And then what you want to do, I've lost it again now. Where is it? Here it is. What you want to do is thread this through. So when you get to the opposite side, you don't want to be going against that seam. You want to be going with it. So if you've sewn it the same way as I have, go to the front first, and then when you get to the other side, it will go nice and easily over that seam. So all I'm going to do is just thread this through here. So you get all different kinds of elastic. You can get non-roll ones. You can get all different widths, obviously. So just pick whichever elastic works for what you want. So I'm just going to keep threading that through with my safety pin until it comes out the other side. And I just want to make sure that that stays flat in there. I don't want it twisting around as it goes. What I would suggest doing as well, once it starts getting quite a bit of the way through, is just pin this on here. Because what you don't want to do is just keep threading through and realise that you've actually pulled it out from the beginning. So just put a pin there and it will stop that from happening. Once you come back out the other side, just safety pin them together, or obviously just a normal pin, and then you know it's not going to accidentally go in. And then what you can do is just kind of ease this around to get this nice and even, and we're pretty much done. Now all I need to do is I need to get my elastic to the right length. I cut it with plenty of excess, so all I'm going to do is I'm going to put this on and I'm going to work out how tight I want it. And the reason I do this is because I could measure the elastic before, but once it's in this little channel with all of this fabric on it, it might kind of naturally pull it out a little bit, and then it might fit slightly different. So make sure it's nice and straight. As I said, you don't want any kind of twists in it. It's not going to feel very nice. And then just put it on and get it right for size. And then what I tend to do is, let's see if I can pull that through a little bit there. I tend to just overlap them. What I don't want to do is a seam and bend back on them, because they're always going to be kind of pulling apart like that. What I tend to do is overlap them and stitch them across here a couple of times. So I'm just gonna pin it back together with just a normal pin while I put it on. Don't want that popping out while I get it over my hips, and I'll work out how long I need my bit of elastic. So by chance, that was actually exactly the length I wanted. That wasn't me being skillful, that was just absolute luck. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to stitch across it in a couple of places just to make sure that's nice and secure. I don't want this coming undone as I wear it and then having to unpick the whole waistband to find it. So let's get that bit sewn up, and then I'll show you how to just finish off this last little bit. So to be able to sew it, you kind of need to pull a bit more through, and then all I'm doing is just a couple of reverse stitches to start all the way down, and then the same at the bottom, and then just lifting the foot up and then just doing the same, just a few millimeters over, and then you just know it's nice and secure. You can go over this as many times as you want, but just don't put just a few stitches in because it's not going to hold very well. So I've just got the very last bit to do. So the first thing I'm going to do is cut the excess off. Make sure you cut the right bit. Don't cut through, obviously, the bit that is staying in. I'm not going to trim too much off that. I don't want to leave this too short, so I can get rid of that bit. I just do it this way because I just think doing anything like this, just doing it by eye and trying it on, is the best way to get it to fit. Now obviously you can do it with measurements beforehand if you want, totally up to you, but I just find this way nice and easy. So all I'm doing now is I'm just pulling it nice and flat at this point here. Let's zoom out a little bit. I'm just pulling it flat, and then I'm pulling that over here, and I just want that to be exactly the same size as what I've done so far. So I'm going to just pin it to start with, and then I'll just measure it after to make sure it's correct. And then all I need to do is just sew up this last little bit that I'd left open. So I'm just going to double check the measurement of that. It's exactly 2.5. It was pretty easy because the elastic kind of put me in the right place to start with. Now let's get this in the right place now so I can show you sewing it up. So I just want to pull it nice and flat there. And what I need to do is I need to really make sure my elastic stays out of the way. So you might find using a zip foot, so you don't have this bit on this side which is sitting on the elastic, makes it a little bit easier. But by just putting a bit of pressure with my fingers there, it's kind of holding all that in place and allowing me to sew it nice and easily. So I just need to basically sew up to where the opening is, and then it's done. And once you've finished that last little bit off, all you've got to do is then just even out where the fabric is on the elastic. Just one easy way is to line up both of the side seams, just put them on top of each other and just see if each side is the same. So one is the front and one is the back. So where's mine at the moment? They should be the same size to me. That looks a lot bigger than that. So I know I need to just play around with where the fabric is. You can kind of just pull the whole thing right open. Let's zoom out so you can see what I'm doing. Just kind of pull it like this, and you're going to gradually get that in the right place. But that's it. That is the skirt complete. There we go. Zoomed out, you can see the whole thing now. It is just nice and simple, absolutely perfect for summer just to slip on. This fabric is viscose, and it, as you saw, just pressed and sewed lovely and easily, and it gathers nicely onto that elastic. You don't want to be using anything bulky if you're gathering it up like that. And the great thing about doing these French seams is as many times as I wash and wear this is all going to stay perfect. There's no raw edges, no overlocking. It's all nice and neatly finished on the inside too. So I really hope you've enjoyed that, and if you're a complete beginner, you now know exactly what you need to do to make a skirt. As I said, it's nice and simple, just the two seams, the channel at the top for the elastic, and the hem. There's really not much to it. If you have enjoyed it, do check out my other videos that I've put links to in the description because you might like those too. And then if you fancy something a bit more challenging, why don't you have a look at my block drafting tutorials and my longer projects. If there's anything that's not clear, anything you want to ask me, do please ask in the comments because I always make sure I get back to everybody. It sometimes takes me a few days, but I will get back to you. And if you have any other ideas of other simple kind of projects like this that you'd like to see, do please let me know. So check out this video if you've enjoyed this because I think you'll probably enjoy this one too.